Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for coming to watch another WEIGO podcast, aka What Else Is Going On podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, Taria, and I have missed y'all so much. I am getting over what I believe was a cold. Yeah, it was trying to take me down. So I don't think I've talked to y'all since like Thursday or Friday, right? Um, Basically, I tried to come on this weekend. So Saturday, I had all intents and purposes of recording. My girlfriend and her husband were celebrating their 14-year anniversary. So me and Corey were going out with them along with her sister and her husband. We went and saw, uh, I guess it was a musical play type at the Arena Players in Baltimore, basically based on Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson, I believe, right? That's the right correct last names. It was their love told through their music that they sang and also wrote for other artists. And again, at times I didn't quite know what was happening, what was going on, because they were singing. Then might have been some songs that the author wrote, the playwright, wrote, and then we were watching video with pictures of Nick and Valerie, with interviews that they did. So I wasn't quite sure at times what was going on, but I enjoyed what was going on, if that makes sense. Like I enjoyed it all. I just wasn't quite sure sometimes what was happening. Then after that, so I woke up Saturday morning with a sneeze and was kind of like, ooh, like you could tell just a random sneeze from some pollen or like okay, something seems off. Went to the gym, came home, got ready. We went to the place. My throat started getting a little bit hot. And I was like, well, it was hot that morning, but then it went away. Started getting that hot feeling again. Went away again. We go to dinner at this place called Black Swan, and I have wanted to try this place for brunch, and I didn't realize it until we got there, downtown Baltimore, Black owned. My girlfriend knows the owner. Nice establishment. I'll say the only thing that was kind of annoying was she made reservations. When you go to the website to make reservations, it immediately takes you to open table, right? Cool, made the reservation. We get there and we're told, oh, this is like their switchover hours from 4 to 6. So it's a limited menu. Three things: lamb chops, a chicken box, or margarita pizza. Now, my girlfriend and her husband have been there before, so they know how good the food is. We had never been. The rest of us had never been. So my girlfriend was like, that we weren't told that. And she was like, well, it's on the website. It's not. Because when you book the reservation, it takes you directly to open table. So that's a communication that they need to fix. And then our waiter seemed a bit uninterested, even yawned at the table at one point, was very just like we asked him a question, like margarita pizza. I'm very plain in my eating, okay? Very plain. Anybody who knows me will tell you Taria is very plain. I don't have food issues. I just like what I like. Like I don't eat seafood. Certain things I don't eat because I don't like it. I asked what's the difference between a margarita pizza and a regular pizza? He said they just add basil. I said, that's the only difference. Yeah. Sir, and then somebody else had a question. It wasn't until he realized that my friends knew the owners. Child, when I tell you that attitude changed, my girlfriend's sister was like, she's also a friend of mine. She was like, girl, like basically the switch up, he was attentive the rest of the time. Like it was night and day. And I said, it's cool if like he was a good waiter after that point, but it shouldn't have taken all that. But it was still overall a good experience. I do want to go back for the brunch, but I would just make that suggestion. Like you need to let folks know. You could call it happy hour from 4 to 6 because they said they're switching out their kitchen from brunch to dinner and they don't have a big kitchen staff. Then you let that be known. Hey, you're only going to be able to get 3 things off of our menu. They ended up actually switching it over at 5 o'clock. And so because our reservation was at 4:30, we just ordered drinks and then 5 o'clock came fast and then we were able to order dinner, but it was pretty good. But anyway, after we left there, went back to my girlfriend's sister's house, talking about pop culture, politics, every single thing we could talk about. Because one of my girlfriend's husband is in education, and then my other girlfriend's in education, so we were just all talking about different things. Had some drinks, ended up line dancing, had a blast. But then I felt that my throat was starting to do that again. Girl, got home like 11:30, almost 12, and I had to take an Alka-Seltzer. The next day, I pushed myself, get up, take some Alka-Seltzer. My husband's like, you feeling all right? Yeah, good, I'm gonna push through, y'all. I worked about 3 or 4 hours and was like, look, I'm just gonna go home, take a nap. And I'm not a nap person. My naps are like 3, 4 hours. So I don't do them because if I wake up after an hour, I'm just aggravated. So I'd rather just push through, right? I'm gonna come home. I got home. Corey was like, you all right? And I was like, I'm just gonna nap for an hour. He made me Alka-Seltzer. When I tell you I was like out in and out of sleep on the couch. And then some time had went by and he had texts and was like, my parents actually decided, my dad was like, they're in Jersey, decided to come down, bring some cake, ice cream, and gifts for my son who just graduated college. So I was excited to see them, but y'all, I was so like, I felt so drained. So I was like, all right, get up. Maybe a shower would help. So I made myself get up after a while, took a shower, came back and just laid on the couch taking Alka-Seltzer. But we really had a good time. I'm so glad they came. And then my mom was like, oh, Taria, do you have a fever? You feel hot? Like, but it was nice. Like, Corey is a great, excellent caretaker. And then, but there was something about my mom also being here concerned, and my dad, of course, they're going to be concerned. But, here I'm a 47-year-old woman talking about it was nice that my mom was concerned, but we ended up having a good time. They spent the night. So I didn't work anymore. Woke up Monday, pushed myself a little bit. Actually, I probably pushed myself too much because now I'm back feeling a little bit like iffy. So I need to take some Alka-Seltzer. It's just so disgusting. But anyway, that was my weekend. I hope y'all had a good weekend. Now let's get into the thing. So first up, I saw this. Shout out to, I wanted to shout out who sent it to me in the DMs because we were like, what? Shout out to Janice Renee. Hey, boo. So she sent this to me on Instagram, and it was All True Tea. Shout out to All True Tea, too. They had posted that ENEWS did a recent ranking of the Real Housewives, and these are their top 10. Okay? ENEWS, their top 10. Number 1, Bethany Frankel. 2, Nene Leakes. 3, Kyle Richards. 4, Lisa Vanderpump. 5, Luann de Lesseps. 6, Teresa Giudice. 7, Giselle Bryant. 8, Ramona Singer. 9, Vicky Gunvalson. 10, Candy Burris. Then it says, do y'all agree? I'm going to read y'all some of the comments that I found funny. Shout out to Alex Salter TV who said, absolutely not. Shout out to the diva Erica De Niro who had the Kenya meme that's like, get out of here, basically. Shout out to my girl Lady Asa who said Giselle, who did Bravo pay? Somebody else said Kyle and Candy, but no Portia. Nope. Another person, I disagree with Giselle being in the top 10. Karen has more memorable moments. Someone else, Nene, Teresa, Vicky, top 3 for sure. They lost all credibility, even considering Giselle. Someone else, I agree with Teresa, Nene, LVP, and Vicky. They are the housewives of Mount Rushmore. Giselle is definitely a top housewife because she trends just for existing. That's why she trends. Them putting Kenya at 27, because the list went on, was complete insanity. She belongs in the top 10. I saw Portia was 11 and Candace was 16, I believe. Someone else said Nene should be number 1. Giselle shouldn't be in the top 10. Somebody else, Giselle, but no Kenya, laughable. And then Nene is number 1. Somebody said Nene is number 1, then Teresa, Vicky, Bethany, Lisa, and the rest can fall in line wherever. Just my thoughts. Someone else said, why do they keep doing Karen like that? I'm going to say this. Call it what you want, fan or not, because there was a time when I was like, Giselle. I still don't think she belongs in the top 10. Now, they're going past the top 10 for them to allegedly put Kenya at 27. You talking about top 10. Call me biased. I don't believe that Bethany should be number 1. For me, it's always going to be Nene. If just so I'm clear, right? I can see Teresa seasons like 1 through 5. I was team Teresa, not them Gorgas. That slowly started to change, but we can't deny Teresa nor Bethany's contribution to their franchises. So I do think both of them belong in the top 10. I think Nene should be number 1. Listen, Black folks who watch non-Black franchises, a lot of these ladies we could look at and pretty much figure out where their salts lie as it pertains to Black folks and Black Lives Matter, and if they have Black friends and all that. That's something Black folks can pick up on. Hello, look at Salt Lake City when Jenny came on and the way she was with Mary. A lot of us Black folks, we knew. We just had a conversation with other Black folks, and then it came out what Jenny really thought, right? So we know this. We're able to kind of just separate that watching. It's not a surprise to us. When those lists and stuff come out about this housewife supports this person and that, a lot of times we're not shocked, right? I will say, given all of that, I do believe Ramona belongs in the top 10. Vicky belongs in the top 10. But for and I do believe that Candace, we could swap Candace out for Giselle and still put Candace closer to 10 than even in the middle. Because I do believe that Candace is an excellent housewife. Kenya Moore should definitely be in the top 10. Disrespectful to have her at 27 and Giselle at 7. Who made that list? I bet you I know who made the list. Moving on. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all tell me y'all top 3 housewives or your Mount Rushmore. That's 4, right? Mount Rushmore is 4. If y'all had to pick 4, who y'all got? All right, moving on. Speaking of housewives, child, truth is, I feel like Tamala, man, I'm tired. These options must be few because we keep hearing about Portia and Simon. According to the Jasmine brand, Portia Williams' ex Simon Guobadia subpoenas Dish Nation and Bank of America over RHOA stars' finances. The divorce drama between Portia Williams and her estranged husband, Simon Guobadia, is far from over. As recently reported, the former couple has been duking it out in court over their prenuptial agreement and marital home, with Portia Williams fighting for the right to film Real Housewives of Atlanta scenes in the Georgia residence amid their divorce. They have also been taking a few digs at each other online since news of their breakup was announced in February. And now it looks like Simon is dragging even more parties into their dispute. According to a report from Radar Online, the Nigerian businessman has subpoenaed the production company behind Dish Nation, Bank of America, and City National Bank to sit down for a videotaped deposition surrounding Portia Williams' coins. As you may recall, Portia was a commentator on the entertainment news program for 8 years. She parted ways with the series in August 2021, a year before she married Simon. Yeah, that was when she quit all her jobs. Reportedly, Simon is arguing their prenup shouldn't have to be upheld because his ex's financial status changed when she signed a multi-millions deal with NBC Universal. Her contract with the mass media company was inked before she filed for divorce, according to the reports. Documents obtained by the outlet note that Guobadia wants all contracts, amendments, memos of understanding, and agreements regarding and involving Portia Diane Williams' work on the show Dish Nation from 2021 to the present. He's also reportedly asking for copies of all pay stubs, statement of earnings, W-2 statements, 1099 forms, and other documents relating to taxable income, tax-free income, and other compensation of any kind paid to or earned by Williams, and then Oriaku, Oriaku, LLC, and her agent regarding her work with Dish Nation. In addition, he purportedly asked the production representative for all separation notices, termination of employment, termination of services, documents regarding Williams' exit from the show, and any chats about why she left. Concerning her banks, BOA and City National Bank, Guobadia is demanding the Atlanta native's monthly account transactions and records from January 2022 through the present date. Williams is already fighting against Guobadia's subpoena for a deposition and all communication with RHOA producers. Listen here. Simon has reached up under that go naked hair wig cap and is tugging and tugging and tugging. He is determined to pull all the lace from that frontal unit. Listen, Portia doesn't realize, or maybe she's starting to realize, Simon is not playing. Now, whether all his business dealings were on the up and up or not, whether they were fraud, allegedly, some have said, or what have you, he is a businessman who has made millions. He didn't do that by not being smart and savvy. And I believe he knows just what to do. And I'm thinking long-term is his plan to bankrupt her, kind of sort of run her money low by continuously keeping her in this divorce. You know, Kenya Moore had talked about how much money she, through her divorce, Bethany Frankel. Simon is not stupid, child. I hope Portia got exactly what she asked for, I believe. Not saying she asked for this, but I mean, she wanted the man and she got the man in marriage and during divorce. Moving on, let's talk about The Real Housewives of Dubai. Now, are y'all going to watch? It premieres season 2 this Sunday, June 2nd. Now, look, I know a lot of people may not have been impressed or liked season 1. I didn't mind it. Listen, I love watching beautiful women on TV, and that's relative. It's not just looks, but just lifestyles or what have you, right? I'm looking forward to it. We only have New Jersey right now, but they did come out with their taglines. Let's read them. I'm going to read them to you so you can hear them again. Caroline Stanberry had a facelift, right? So she says, the only thing old about me, darling, is my money. I don't mind it. Sarah, she worked my nerves last season. In the land of excess, I find my riches within. I don't know. I mean, it's okay. Talene, she's a newbie. Take it from me. If you know how to stay chill, you'll never get burnt. I actually like this one. I wish it was something other than take it from me and then the rest. There's something about that take it from me. Feels like it's wordy, but I do love that if you know how to stay chill, you'll never get burned. I like that. Brooks, Caroline Brooks. I may be building glass houses, but you'll never see me crack. I like that because I believe her spa name is Glass. Speaking of Caroline Brooks, let me tell you something, Brooks. When I was at BravoCon, I was fortunate enough to go back to be with where the Bravo Lebs were. They're like lounge at a certain time. Seen some in there. Brooks was one of them. She asked me, did I want a picture? I said, sure. She asked me, did not ask. You want a picture? Sure. So then I introduced myself, told her I had a podcast. I want to come on the podcast immediately after I said I had a podcast. I want to come on the podcast. I said, okay. So in my mind, I'm literally racking my brain because with this podcast, it's easy to reach out to housewives and get them on. Y'all seen, I've had plenty, right? But I also want to make sure that it's not just about me trying to get a housewife for numbers. I like to have them come on and actually, I don't know, there's something that has to resonate with me and that person, right? So she was like, I want to come on. I'm like, okay. And then I was like, oh, okay, I could talk to her about this, that, da. I said, well, how do I contact you? She told me where to go. I heard from Brooks. You told me you wanted to come on. Anyway, I do like her tagline. Again, I may be building glass houses, but you'll never see me crack. Lisa Milan, and this funny, this article from Reality T is where I got all this from. They say, seriously, it sounds like Chat GPT wrote it. She says, the desert may be hot, but I always find the shade. We've had housewives mention the shade thing. I know Giselle mentioned it, and not saying that you can't use with another housewife, use with a different spin on it, but I just feel like it's plain. I wanted more, something fresh from Lisa. And then Chanel Ayan, if you're jealous of me, that's okay, honey. I would be too. To me, that's a little bit cliche as well. I wish Chanel had gave us something else, but y'all let me know what y'all think. And are you going to watch, even if it's not out of excitement, if it's just like, well, that and Jersey are the only things that are on, so I'm going to watch. Y'all let me know what y'all think about these taglines. Next up, okay. Tamar Braxton and Jeremy J.R. Robinson. So a lot of headlines have been circulating about Tamar and when she did the live show with Carlos King. And a lot of things that are circulating, we talked about those when clips came out, I think a month or so ago, of Tamar talking about why she wouldn't be on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think somebody had put that clip out or what have you, because the live podcast was done a while ago. But now they're recirculating because Carlos uploaded the entire podcast to his YouTube page. So now you can see it, the live show. So a lot of things have been recirculating that we already talked about. But I will say this. So I was listening actually, and he asked her about JR, and she was like, we've decided to keep our relationship private. In the meantime, the audience had their commentary about JR, and she was like, y'all don't like that man. Y'all don't like that man. Y'all don't like that man, laughing. Carlos said that basically he wants chicken and a side of coleslaw, and I think he said corn on the cob or something whenever he sees Jeremy. So he's trying to call him Colonel Sanders. That's how you say that, right? I always think Colonel, but it's Colonel Sanders. So it was kind of a little bit of shade from Carlos. And then the audience was definitely shading JR. And so Tamar was like, we've decided to keep our relationship private. For me, I feel like if they were together, she could have very much been like, you know what, y'all? We are very much together. We are thriving, but I have learned from the past that some things I need to keep sacred and keep close to my heart. And that's what I'm choosing to do going forward with our relationship. We're in such a good place. We don't want I don't need any outside influences or any noise. I would much rather talk to y'all and share with y'all my heart, my projects that I'm working on, anything like that. She could have said, but she just was like, we are keeping it private. So, are y'all together or you're not? So JR didn't take too kindly to that. So let's get into what he tweeted and then, of course, deleted yesterday. So he took his story, and it was a series of IG posts, and he said, truth is, they are not ready for me to tell my side of the story. I keep choosing grace, but I can only be thrown under the bus and not defended for so much longer. I'll be Colonel Sanders and give you some chicken to eat with my story. Keep poking the bear. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, he has made me want a piece of chicken and some mashed potatoes. He then says, a man can only take so much. I always want to protect, even when we aren't together, but stop allowing indirects to throw me under the bus. Your shade creates more uncertainty, and your people thrive on stating what you never say. I'm too graceful, and that's coming to an end. Thanks, CK. And I guess that's Carlos King. Then says, apologies mean nothing when you come for my foundation. You know the truth, but want to kiki. Well, I guess the exclusive has to come out. Tired of protecting people and getting SHI on. Oh, and before I read what else he wrote, Carlos asked Tamar, did she have a hoe phase? And she was like, basically, no. And he was like, I believe everybody should have a hoe phase. I want you to have one. So then Jeremy says, their hoe phase was during my in love phase. Flowers and billboards don't mean S when you have had your heart broken. Then the article, I got this from Ice Cream Conversations. They said JR wasn't standing on business because he quickly deleted all of his posts. Now, for those of y'all that may not have seen, this is what he's talking about when he says billboards. What did he say? Flowers and billboards don't mean S when you've had your heart broken. Tamar had dedicated a special wish to JR for his birthday with a billboard in New York City. So he's like, child, that don't mean nothing when you're allowing people to throw subs and what have you at me. So JR is not pleased. Here's my thing. Number one, I couldn't get over, again, he said their hoe phase was during my in-love phase when she talked about not having a hoe phase. He continues to make her look like a fool. I get him being upset at the audience, especially if they're still together. The audience saying all this stuff about him and her saying, y'all don't like this man. But let's be clear, you broke up with Tamar. You let it be known by letting us know you stepped away. You're choosing peace. Subliminal, like throwing subs, letting us know that she was a handful. Then you go with her ops, Tommy. Tommy talks all about it and how you talked about Tamar. Then you get back together, you apologize, all this stuff. And it's almost like proving the audience's point, because even though you're upset, you say all of this. I don't know, because I feel like Tamar didn't talk down to him. Should she have defended him? I mean, better. Are they together? I don't know, but I just feel like this was kind of like, and it would have me believe they're not together with all of this. Like, you can't be with all, but then again, he went with her ops on a date. They went to the hotel motel, not the Holiday Inn, because he went somewhere and used his points, Tommy said. And she had some things done to her. He ate her groceries. So you were able to recover from that. So this probably is nothing. I don't know. What do y'all think? It almost is like a Portia and Simon, where like how Simon loves to be in them headlines. I feel like JR does too, but y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's get into Alphonso Rivera. According to, I don't know why I said it like that. Sorry, y'all. The Jasmine brand. Y'all ready? There may be some quiet beef between actor Alphonso Ribeiro and media titan Tyler Perry. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air star shared a tense message about the filmmaker today, May 28th, today, after a social media user suggested the two collaborate on something to help the actor's career. In a post uploaded to his X account, formerly Twitter, Alphonso responded to a fan. So a fan said, at Tyler Perry needs to revamp at Alphonso Rivera's career. I just know he could. It looks like Alphonso reposted that and said, I don't need or ever want that man to do anything for me. The 52-year-old didn't elaborate any further on the post, and it's unclear at this time if there's any real issue between the entertainment professionals. Alphonso's post comes a little over a week after he stated that starring as the awkward, preppy cousin Carlton in The Fresh Prince alongside superstar actor Will Smith ruined his career. He stated, playing Carlton on Fresh Prince became a sacrifice. I used to always say doing Carlton was the greatest and worst thing that ever happened to me. He added, it was one of the greatest roles that I ever was fortunate enough to play. But it was also the role that stopped me from acting again because people couldn't see me as anything else. The sacrifice was not having an acting career anymore. Despite being rejected from other starring roles, Ribeiro's presence in Hollywood certainly hasn't stopped altogether. The actor has gone on to appear in several projects and has most recently been co-hosting Dancing with the Stars. Ribeiro and Tyler Perry also have a business history, as Ribeiro has directed episodes of Perry's sitcom Meet the Browns, which aired from 2009 to 2011. It does not appear that Perry has responded to the remark publicly at this time. Well, maybe he has knowledge of working with Tyler Perry since he directed some episodes from 2009 to 2011, and maybe that's causing him to say he doesn't want or need that man to do anything for him. Child, the beef we didn't know. Well, I was going to say that we didn't know that we need it, but we don't need it, but who knew? Moving on, let's talk about Sean Kingston. Now, a couple of days ago, we talked about Sean Kingston. His house was raided. Him and his mama, his mom was taken into custody. They found him later. I believe, was it at a gas station or somewhere? Well, now we have some more information. Sean Kingston faces 10 charges in Florida after being arrested in California. Sean Kingston's numerous charges are being revealed. The 34-year-old entertainer was arrested last Thursday, May 23rd in California, just hours after his mother was arrested in Florida. It was previously revealed that an arrest warrant for him was issued after a raid at a mansion he was renting in Florida. The raid was triggered by a lawsuit filed against Sean by Verver Entertainment back in February, claiming the performer has not paid for purchased items from the company. Now the 10 charges against Sean have been revealed. According to Variety, Sean is being charged with counts of grand theft from a luxury car retailer, defrauding a jeweler for $480,000, plus several counts of identity fraud, issuing faulty checks, and a probation violation, totaling 10 counts. So let's read that again. He's being charged counts of grand theft from a luxury car retailer, defrauding a jeweler for $480,000, plus several counts of identity fraud, issuing faulty checks, and a probation violation, which totals 10 counts. His mother, Janice Turner, is also being charged on 8 counts of grand theft from a luxury car retailer and defrauding a jeweler for $480,000. She reportedly has posted bail and is no longer in custody. Sean, however, is still being held in jail in San Bernardino County Jail without bail. He was set for a court appearance on Tuesday, May 28th, which was today, for an extradition hearing, with him expected to be sent to Florida. After his arrest, an attorney representing him, Robert Rosenblatt, told NBC News, "We are in the process of having him return to Florida after his show." Oh, we were in the process of having him return to Florida after his show. We want him back ASAP so we can show this is merely a civil case and not criminal. We look forward to challenging this case in court. Y'all, they saying Sean Kingston and his mama is out here defrauding car people, jewelry people, and not paying for what 230-inch TVs and the wiring sound system. So I guess we'll have to see if how his hearing went today and if he was extradited. At this time, I haven't heard anything, but that doesn't mean that I didn't miss it. Last thing, Nicki Minaj. So we already know that Nicki Minaj had a concert in Manchester. She got arrested because she had some pre-rolls that she said were her security. She didn't end up making her concert. It was postponed, I think. So June, she thanked her supporters. She said it's a conspiracy and they were out to get her. So we know all of that is happening. I saw this and thought this was interesting. According to Page Six, Nicki Minaj threatens to fire tour DJ for signing fans' chest following Amsterdam arrest. Nicki Minaj threatened to fire her Pink Friday 2 World Tour DJ for signing a fan's chest. The rapper 41 took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to seemingly slam DJ Booth after he boasted about his celebrity status, all because a fan asked him to sign her breasts. I promise I'll fire him if I ever, EVAHHHHH, see this again. And then she put DF like def. That's what she put. He had a story and said, I'm really famous. They asked me to sign their boobs, and it's him signing somebody's boob. She also retweeted the picture that showed a grinning Booth signing a fan's chest with a marker. Despite her threat, many fans pointed out that Minaj also signs after her fans, also often signs her fans on their chest. He's trying to steal your job, one fan wrote with another. He want to be Nicki so bad. Okay. Page Six did not immediately receive a response from reps from Minaj or DJ Booth. However, Booth, whose real name is Clyde Joseph Jr., seemingly backtracked about wanting fame when he wrote via Instagram stories Monday. Growing up, I used to want to be famous, but we all know you can be famously broke. Booth first rose to fame as the DJ for the Wendy Williams show. So Nicki said, listen, don't be out here signing breasts and stuff and showing you want to be famous because you will be fired. Last thing, child, I also thought this was kind of funny. Nicki Minaj mocked for calling Princess Diana a dear friend during moment of silence at UK concert. According to Page Six, Nicki Minaj received mixed reviews from fans after she asked for a moment of silence for her dear friend Princess Diana at a concert over the weekend. The super Best rapper was performing on stage in Birmingham, England on Sunday when she handed her pink microphone over to an attendee who declared that he was from Wales. Minaj took the moment to link the guest's hometown to the late royal, who was the Princess of Wales when she was married to King Charles III. Wales, it always reminds me of a dear friend of mine. Well, she's not here anymore, but the Princess of Wales, she said in a British accent during her concert for a TikTok video. The Queen of Rap 41 then paused and called for a moment of silence for the late princess and held the microphone in her chest and looked down for a few seconds while the audience became slightly quieter. After a few seconds, Minaj kept up the British accent while listing off more cities in the United Kingdom. It didn't take long for the video to go viral and for fans to tease Minaj for both her accent and calling Princess Diana her dear friend. There was one that was funny. Somebody said, a dear friend of mine. She was 14 when Diana died. And then another, however, other people gave her credit for the pause and applaud her accent. One of them said, our queen literally paying respect to Diana. Another said the moment of silence. I'm sorry, they didn't tweet it. It was on TikTok. And another person said the moment of silence was so cute. So apparently we didn't know that Nicki, 14-year-old Nicki, was good friends or dear friends with Princess Diana. I just thought that was funny. All jokes aside, I'm glad that Nicki is safe and something more detrimental did not go down in Manchester. All right, y'all. This was kind of long. I hope that you enjoyed it. I watched Summer House, the reunion earlier today. I'm getting ready to watch it again so I can take notes and do my review because I also want to talk about Noelle. So for those of you that didn't see it, Noelle was on Kempire's Live, which he's also uploaded to YouTube, and she spilled a lot of tea, child. One of the things she spilled, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, that we all looked at Summer like, girl, you only got 2 days left. Why are you leaving the house? Why are you deciding to leave the house? And per Noelle, it wasn't Summer's decision to leave the house. Summer had put hands on Noelle. Evidently, she had also put hands on Shanice, which we did not see. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch that so I can get into the reunion and to that. I love y'all so, so much. I know I say it all the time, but I truly mean it. I value each and every one of you. Y'all pray for me because this Alka-Seltzer and this cold is like, it's trying to drag me down, but I'm determined to fight it. I'm determined to tussle and win. So I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all later. See ya.